the #1 rule of ebook writing is that we're awesome. Like, what kind of tip is that? But it's so true. I think the thing that holds a lot of people back from writing an ebook is just fear and like lack of confidence that they are capable and that they know enough to be able to do it. And I kind of went into building a framework the first time I launched it, kind of kicking and screaming and saying, I don't know enough about blogging. I'd only been blogging a year when I started writing it. And my husband just kept saying, no, you need to write this book. You need to write this book. You're the perfect person to write it. And I did, and it took off, and, you know, we never looked back. So if you don't have a person in your life that's that person for you, let me be that person and tell you that you are awesome, you are capable, you can do it, and you don't have to be the world's leading expert on a topic to be able to write about it. Clearly, I started my first ebook about blogging when I had only been blogging a year. There were tons of people who knew more than me. There were tons, and still are, people that know more than me and were more successful than I was. But I had learned a lot of things in that first year that I was blogging, and I was just willing to teach people what I knew. And it was helpful for people. We have a Facebook group of like 600 or 700 people who have gone on to get the more advanced packages of the book, and we're learning things from each other all the time. So you don't have to be the world's leading expert on your topic to help people, and that's, you know, what it all comes down to, is your ability to meet people's needs and your ability to help people. So that takes me into my next kind of point. When you first start the ebook process, you're going to be asking yourself, you know, what should I write about? And some of you might know already what topic you want to write about, but I always say to listen to your readers, and if you listen closely enough, they will tell you what you should be writing about. The way that Framework came about was that I started getting this stream of emails from other bloggers asking me blog questions, asking me how I did certain things or how I grew a certain social media a certain way. And as the stream of emails continued to come in, and at first I couldn't believe they were asking me, because I was like, what do I know? But I realized as I was answering them that I had actually learned some things, and I had information that would be helpful to people. And so that's when Donnie, my husband, said, you know, it's time. You gotta write this thing. So pay attention to the emails that you get over and over again, the comments that you get repeatedly. If there's a certain type of post that you do that every time you do it, it goes nuts, that could be an indication of something you should write about. I remember for Simplify, like every time I did a post with an organizational printable, like people just ate it up and it went crazy. So that eventually I was able to turn into a book, because I knew that that's what my readers needed and what they wanted. And also ask them what they want. I do a reader survey every year, and one of the questions I ask is, what is the greatest need you have in your life right now? And you would not believe how like people like spill their guts and tell you exactly what they need and exactly what they're having trouble with. And so you just meet them where they are and say, okay, this is your need. These are the skills I have that can meet that need, and put them together. And that question gets me like blog post content and ebook content for like the whole year. So ask your readers, and they'll tell you what your ebook should be about. And it doesn't have to be this huge thing. Like, it doesn't have to be 30,000, 40,000 words. Like, if you have 7,000 words that are extremely helpful to people, and it's, you know, this little thin ebook that you sell for $5, like, if you're helping people, then it's worth it. It doesn't have to be this like big, ginormous subject to, you know, be able to write an ebook on it. So once you decide on your topic, or even actually, you could do this before you decide on your topic. Actually, do this tonight or tomorrow if you go to bed early. Is start growing your email list. This is like me getting up on my soapbox, because I'm like so passionate about the email list. You need to have an email list, and I'm not talking about the one that your RSS automatically sends out. I'm talking about an email list where you can like write people an email and send it out to them, and they signed up for that, and they're expecting that from you. Because that email list is going to be your best friend when it comes time to write and launch your book. There is no tool that was more valuable to me than my email list. The first time I launched Framework, I only had 6,000 people on my email list. It was small, but those were like my most loyal people. They were like my VIPs. and they were like cheering me on the whole way through it. They were the ones that bought the book. They were the ones that told everybody about the book, and I made them, you know, feel special the whole way through the process. So if you don't have an email list, start one tonight. If you do have an email list, start offering freebies or give your readers something valuable to get them to sign up for that email list and start growing it like crazy, because that's going to be your #1 asset.